All right. So the Rangers lose 4-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. Not in overtime. Most definitely in regulation. In this one. Before we jump into anything, I do want to say right off the rip, I apologize for going live very late. I was in attendance for the game. At first it was cool, but then unfortunately, I was in attendance for the game. So yeah, I was at the game, so not much really I could do. I know people get upset that I do these late sometimes, but when I'm at the game, I'm at the game. I can't do anything. I'm not going to simply not. I'm going to simply, or not going to simply pass up going to games for this until I actually make a full-time living potentially off of this. But regardless of all of that, before we jump into anything else, leave a like on the stream if you enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But I don't know where I want to start, because I don't think I even need to do a lot of the talking here, to be honest with you. I don't think I have to do a lot of the talking. Why, you might ask? Because Peter Laviolette pretty much said everything that I was going to say in this post-game show in roughly a paragraph. So Peter Laviolette, this is from Molly Walker, who is at, I don't know what the question was, but from Peter Laviolette, I thought we were missing energy the entire night. We didn't generate very much in the second period, just kind of carried over into the third period. Quickie made some unbelievable saves in the second period, I think, to mask some of that. Throughout the entire game, we just didn't have the pop we needed. When we did start to skate a little bit toward them, we went east-west and turned it over and just kind of killed everything, and it comes back at you pretty quick. Pretty much everything that I was going to recap with this game in, like I said, a paragraph. Pretty much everything. That's the story of this game. It's the story of this game. Jonathan Quick masked the funny smell that was going around in this one. I mean, there's honestly a funny smell going around in general with this team for me personally, but you're right to your own opinion. But regardless, you can't deny that he's spot on with tonight. No energy, though. That line sat with me in a terrible way. No energy. No energy against a team coming off a back-to-back. Were you the ones coming off a back-to-back, or were they? And you have a back-to-back actually coming up. You got Buffalo. I mean, it's game day in a minute here now. It's game day in a minute. And energy? No energy. Okay. Especially because of the fact that, here's the thing that boggles my mind. No energy, and you collapse in the third period to a team that, yet again, is coming off of a back-to-back. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more with what he said. The east-west passes were horrible tonight. And that's something I was alluding to in the Toronto post game, is that they were making way too many east-west plays, and sure enough, they win that game. So what do they think? Oh, we could get away with that in the next game, and they carry it over into this game. So Laviolette's right about a lot of things, but it was a little wrong in terms of when it carried over, because this thing carried over from Toronto. Like, this was packed in the bags from the equipment staff. This thing was packed home from Toronto, because this east-west play, we saw it then. This is the same exact problem that happened there. The only difference is you won the game, and Igor stepped up big. Tonight, Quick did mask some of the issues. Granted, he let up some bad goals, but he masked a lot of the issues with this team tonight. And the east-west, terrible. Making a pass beyond the red line, never heard of her. Never heard of her. Breaking the puck out actually was surprisingly better than it is in most games. It still wasn't good because the bar is low there, but still wasn't terrible. It's really the offensive zone turnovers and them trying to be too cute at the blue line when entering the zone. That's really where their issues came in. Then you have Adam Fox attempting no-look passes when nobody's to his opposite point, or just turning the puck over in the neutral zone, trying to force a stretch pass, and nobody's there. Yeah. The East-West killed them. And another thing that killed them, underratedly, that we're not talking about, special teams. Special teams left a terrible taste in my mouth. To an extent. They had a power play goal. They did. At 3 power plays, though. If you watch those power plays over again, I wanted to vomit. I wanted to vomit. There is not a single reason I should be seeing the NHL post a highlight save from Jonathan Quick on Connor Brown when you're shorthanded, or when you're on the power play is what I mean, and they're shorthanded. That shouldn't be a thing. The power play was just horrendous tonight. And for a power play that's been good all year, that was sloppy. That was embarrassingly sloppy. You have guys falling, not making passes, making too many passes. What are we doing here? Also, that power play goal, by the way, is when it was a 6-on-4 too, nonetheless. So let's not even like really take full stock into what they did there. But the penalty kill even too. Good for them. They didn't allow anything, but Quick stood on his head a lot. There was a lot of good looks for them tonight on the power play for Edmonton. Too many good looks. Especially the second power play, I think it was. Hideous. And then here's my biggest problem. It's not even just the fact that you collapse in the third period. It's you allow a goal. About a minute later, another goal. About a minute and a half later, another goal. About 3 minutes later, another goal. What are we doing? And they had multiple opportunities to win this game and to actually step up. Because you have Mika's advantage at one point in this game, get a 2-on-1 with Adam Fox, and he elects to pass it. All right. Wheeler made it 1-0. Trouba, horrible breakout before this. Then Miller makes up for it. They go down the ice. Kreider to Zibanejad. Zibanejad sets up Wheeler in front. 1-0. Glad the first line had 2 shifts, but they disappeared after that. They disappeared. And you know they disappeared because Peter Laviolette had to pull the plug on that line because we had line changes at the end of this game for a brief minute because that didn't last. That didn't last because of the fact that Mika Zibanejad is a problem right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He is legitimately concerning me. And we're 31 games in. At what point is it not still too early to be concerned? I get he had a nice pass. Get he had a good shift before that. He has not been good enough 5v5. He hasn't. There's no way around it. That period, though, was such a momentum swing of a period. It was the tale of 2 periods. I don't know why I couldn't get that sentence out of my mouth. It was the tale of 2 periods. The Rangers, they allowed a lot of pressure early on. They got going in the middle. Then at the end, they started to look ugly again. But you know what? The first period, you're up 1-0. You get away with some things, and it wasn't the worst. Because they were at least respectable in their own end, and they had some of the details. A lot of the issues were just those east-west passes. And then some breakout issues. But All right, adapt. Come out the second period stronger. I mean, not really. Not really. I mean, first, the Rangers were still on that power play. Zibanejad had that one-timer. The mask comes off of Stuart Skinner. Panarin shoots, and then it goes into the back of the net, but they review it, and it ends up being no goal. I'm not mad. That's the correct call, and I'd be just as mad if it was the other way around and they called it a goal. That is the right call. His mask straps fell off, and then he shook it off because it was broken. I'm not going to fault the officiating for that. That was the right call. Mika struggling to bury rebounds. Mika on the power play hesitating to shoot when he has the wide open cage right in front of his face. Rangers had some pressure too. Then Edmonton comes the other way. Lindgren. Oh boy. Then the Rangers get another power play as Trocheck gets slashed by Evan Bouchard. Then you have that rush chance I talked about. And that was pretty much it. Pretty much it. Lindgren takes a terrible penalty. And then McDavid just feasting on the power play. Thankfully, Draisaitl got denied. Good save there by Jonathan Quick yet again. That's what Laviolette was probably alluding to. Mika gets another 2-on-1 with Kreider shorthanded. That got denied. At least the pass went through. True then with a good block. Panarin the other way. This was after the penalty. Panarin the other way couldn't get a shot off. Gustafsson, bad turnover to McDavid. He fired wide. Then Quick has to glove a shot from Evan Bouchard. Bonino goes off for a holding penalty then. And Quick has a huge stop on Hyman in front. Gaudreau has a big block. Trouba with a big hit. Quick with another big stop on Draisaitl. And something smelt funny about that period. Something smelt funny. And I had a bad vibe after that second period. I did. I thought the attention to detail was there 5v5 defensively at points. But the East-West plays continuing. And then sure enough, this game gets tied up at 1. Connor McDavid eats the Rangers defense up for breakfast. Just walks in way too easily past Keandre Miller. Trouba then decides, you know what? I'm going to dive on the ice and try to block this and leave the front of the net vacant for Zach Hyman because, you know what? That'd be a polite thing to do. Then Nuge just throws a saucer pass over to Hyman. And yeah, Hyman just with a nice little flick into the net ties the game up at 1. Then Edmonton almost makes it 2-1 until they actually do because terrible defense off of the draw. Then a shot goes in, and then, Evander Kane gets the rebound. Derek Ryan with that shot, and then Evander Kane gets the rebound. You have Gustafsson puck watching. You have Schneider lost in no man's land. Quick not getting the initial save. He's got to make that because that's too good of a rebound on a weak shot. Then Fox has to break up a rush. 3-1 all of a sudden. Fogle fires one on, and you have Fox. What is he doing? Mika, what is he doing? Lindgren, what are you doing? Quick can't let that up. I get it. What are we doing? 4-1 then. Miller, terrible play at the blue line. Falls on his ass. And then Fogle with a shot stop. Stopped by Trouba and kept out. But, yeah, it didn't matter. Didn't matter. He sets up McLeod in front of the net, and McLeod taps it in. 4-1. And then the Rangers elect to start putting pressure on. The net's empty. They get a power play. And then Chris Paul ties or cuts the lead down to 4-2 as Zibanejad scores. Will Coley scores at the very last second. I laughed. That was the first time I've sat down when the goal song's playing, and the first time I openly laughed my ass off after the Rangers scored a goal. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Um, that third period was just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. And yet again, we're in a spot where I just like the smell is funny. It just smells so funny to me. This thing at times. And believe me, I know what a funny smell is like. I watch Philadelphia Eagles football on a week-to-week basis. I would know exactly what it's like to for things to smell funny. Something smells funny at points because they take periods off. That's just what they do, and they've done it under 3 coaches now. Jacob Trouba after the game. I don't think we're looking for small victories of clawing back into games anymore. We expect to play a better game for a full 60 minutes. I think we've shown ourselves as a group that we can do that. I think that's what we need to come to expect out of each other each night, every night. Said, sorry. Another crack at it tomorrow before the break, and hopefully we come with a better game tomorrow. Find a way to get 2 points and go into the break feeling good. Well, Jacob, I would tend to agree that playing a full 60 would most likely win you a hockey game. But the issue is that this team sometimes just elects to not play a full 60. But hey, I mean, I say that all the time. But so this isn't really news. It's not news, unfortunately. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Because, yeah, they play tomorrow. They played tomorrow. I forgot they played tomorrow until the guy next to me mentioned it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going tomorrow yet again. It's great. They play tomorrow. Buffalo just killed Toronto. And they look tired. And as Laviolette said, they didn't have energy in the first game of a back-to-back. How am I supposed to feel confident going into the second half of a back-to-back? Well, maybe Igor will step up again and bail them out. Hopefully. But I'll tell you one thing for free. I'll tell you one thing. If they don't cut out the garbage with the east to west passes, expect the same result. Expect the same result. Because that's just how it is. They have to play. They have to play a more simple game. They have to play a way more simple game, and the slop in the D zone needs to be a lot better. They were fine with the attention to details at points in this game. I'm watching Adam Fox break up rushes. I'm watching Keandre Miller make some nice plays, denying some neutral zone entries. That's great, but where's the consistency? But I digress. I'm going to get to the chat. Before we do, leave a like on the post-game show if you have not already. Subscribe if you have not already. We're on the road to 2K subscribers, so I would appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate everyone that donates, super chats, members, everything. I appreciate all the support you guys give. Check out TickPick 2. Link is in the description if you want to get yourself to a game, because why wouldn't you want to watch this in person? But let's see what we got in the chat tonight. And yeah, the defense was brutal. And yeah, Miller slipping ugly. Philg is in the chat. What's going on? I'll get to your comments in a minute because I gotta get through some of the things here. Yeah, Fox doesn't really get mentioned in the top defenseman convo. Unfortunately. He didn't have a good game tonight, but yeah, he's still one of the top defensemen when he's on his game. But he didn't have a good night tonight. But his defensive partner was even worse. And I've been saying time and time and time again that I don't like Ryan Lindgren. And like his play it's getting worse, honestly. It's getting worse. And he wasn't the only one that was bad too. Trouba and Miller don't get a pass either. They were horrendous. Your best pair was that third pair tonight. The best pair was the third pair tonight. And that's not to say they played great even, but that was the best pair tonight. Yeah, the no-look passes were awful. Lindgren was terrible. And yeah, Gustafson and Schneider were the only no KD pair. They really were. I would be in favor of them trying out new pairs, but seems in for a rude awakening come April. If they do this, yeah, they are. But I don't know. I don't know. Good to be in your stream because I didn't want to do one of these tonight. Plus, I got to wake up for hockey tomorrow. No layup talk tonight. Yeah. I'll throw up a layup for you. Were the Rangers ass in the third period? Round, beer, or shot? Go ahead and answer it in the chat. I think I know the answer to this one. I might as well, you know what? I might as well actually throw it up. Might as well actually throw it up. Here you go. Here you go. Here it is. Might as well throw it up. That's a layup. Mark would be proud, yeah. It's by design. Don't worry. Dolphins fan. I think I smell something funny every time we play someone good, which will be on Sunday. It smells funny. Yeah, that's how it is with the Eagles. It's how I feel with the Rangers at points is something smells funny. Something smells funny. Pathetic third. We let Edmonton do their thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the second wasn't great either. It's just, like Laviolette said, quick masked a lot of the issues. Their penalty kill was atrocious. Underratedly atrocious, too. Like, yay, Barkley Goudreau blocked the shot. Thank you. Thank you, Barkley. But Jonathan Quick had to make way too many big saves on their penalty kill. Over relied on the stretch pass tonight. Yeah. Yep. And that's something that we saw under Gerard Gallant non-stop. And I don't understand why we're in December, almost in January at this point, and there's still some of just the boneheaded mistakes that they were making under Gerard Gallant. I get that Laviolette's a better coach, and I get that people are going to say, well, trust Laviolette. It's still only December. Things could change, but just simple things like that and the dumb East-West plays. What are we doing? And the fact that his timeout didn't get anything going for this team concerns me a lot, too. Yeah, I think I'm everyone's tone tonight. I'm the mouthpiece for tonight. Panarin's line was ineffective tonight. What the hell was he doing? I didn't find any line really effective at 5v5 outside of a few shifts from the top line. The fourth line, I guess, had a few good shifts. I mean, and then the third line, forget about it. They've been the epitome of invisible ever since Nick Bonino has had to step up and play the 3C. Brzezinski didn't think I didn't think he had a terrible night. I didn't think that Coley had the worst night, but it's just they're not doing enough, especially when you're watching certain guys. Think you know who I'm talking about. Light it up. Who would be great on this third line right now? By design. I attended the game and the atmosphere in the Garden was electric. Then a couple of minutes into third and it drained all the energy from the crowd. Yeah, I was there too. And it was fun until that third period. This isn't me saying, Rocco, that they suck and that there's no hope for them because things could shift. Things could shift, but it's the fact that why are we still seeing some of these bad habits? And like this in Toronto were very similar outside of just the result. And I didn't love the Toronto game personally. Thought they relied way too much on the stretch pass there, and I thought they were making way too many East-West plays there. The first line had like 2 good shifts in the first and then just disappeared in the other 3 lines. Just didn't get anything going. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And then the power play, like I said, was just vomit worthy. That was embarrassing. I can't get out of my head Mika Zibanejad having that wide open cage and hesitating there. That's automatic. This is the problem, Nick. They get lazy at points. That's the thing that annoys me, is that there's way too many times that, like, why is it that this team gets lazy? Why is it that they take their foot off the gas at points? And I get you can't expect them to play night in and night out a full 60. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't have what you had tonight, where 1 goal against and then all of a sudden you collapse entirely and you let up 4 straight goals. That's unacceptable. They take their foot off the pedal and that's when they lose games. Yeah. Nothing new, unfortunately. Too bad there wasn't a future Hall of Famer who was on this team last year and was available in free agency. Yeah, no. Good thing that scenario didn't happen. I mean, yeah. Yeah, no energy in the first part of a back-to-back. What are we in for tomorrow? What are we in for tomorrow? Shut me up. Shut me up. Play a full 60. Annihilate Buffalo. Do it. But you had no energy tonight against a team coming off a back-to-back. And how is it that the team coming off a back-to-back was better in the third period? How? Yeah, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that they had the empty net and they ended up having the power play. But it's isn't it just like amazing? Isn't it amazing what happens when you like simplify the game in the offensive zone though? Isn't it amazing what happens? And you create more chances. Granted, I mean, still the overpassing. I want to put my head through a damn wall with the amount of times that they overpass the puck. Second power play was awful. Edmonton's PK isn't even that good. And they were just skating around looking like the Benny Hill theme should have been playing in the background. Yeah, it was pathetic. Again, the Connor Brown shot on that odd man rush that I'm seeing posted online with Jonathan Quick's great save. Why? That shouldn't happen, though. That shouldn't happen. And you're right, Edmonton, they don't have a good penalty kill. So freaking aggravating. The power play tonight was so bad I called it the slow shorthanded trash play. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing you could hang your hat on for tonight is their power play is normally better than this, but for tonight, vomit worthy. Even the penalty kill at times, I really did not like. I really didn't. Even though they didn't allow a power play goal, Jonathan Quick was tested way too much. Here, let's see if I could actually get the amount of high danger chances that they allowed on the PK. Let's see. They allowed, where is it? Looks like they allowed 2. Yeah, they allowed 2. Felt like it was way more. And then Edmonton in general, that you look at their expected goals even. I mean, it matches up with what they got, but still it's just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Yeah, that too. If you're gonna make the East-West plays, don't be sliding like I can't take it. They're just sliding around the ice on these East-West passes. and couldn't make a tape-to-tape pass. Couldn't do it. And just the dumb things they were doing at the blue line. It's like, what are we doing tonight? I don't expect them to play this bad every night. I want to make that clear again to the people that are going to be annoyed. But like, this was underratedly such an atrocious game. The score does not indicate how bad they played tonight. And yeah, the forecheck was just pathetic tonight. Another thing I did not like in Toronto was the forecheck. And sure enough, tonight, what was another issue? The forecheck. The forecheck was the issue, or one of the issues, but if you don't watch the Rangers, you think they're the best team. If you watch them, you think their inconsistent stats lie. I test better. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, even then, if you look at some of the analytics, it pretty much tells you that there's certain things that are a little bit wrong with this team. But again, like I'm going to make this clear yet again. They are not a horrible team. This is not me saying that they have no shot of doing anything, but it's just the fact that it's infuriating that they still all the time take periods off and nights off. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. And that's the thing that just is the most annoying. Because they would be so freaking good, so dominant if they gave even half an effort in some of these like ugly losses or ugly periods they have. It's just they're consistently inconsistent. It's the story. That's the story that I've been telling for weeks now. Sorry, I just have to answer this. Just have to answer this. Man. Yeah, the forecheck was terrible. Yeah, the inconsistency is ridiculous, Peter. When have they haven't said let me relax when they're winning or during an important period? Yeah, exactly. They are a good team. They are just too inconsistent to be considered an elite team. That's my biggest thing, Matt. Yeah, that's the perfect wording is that they're a good team. They're a great team. They're a great team. It's just the inconsistency that really is why I'm so critical and why I get worked up over certain things because of the fact that their losses are horrendous and it's just the fact that they take nights and entire periods off because they're not going to play a full 60 every night. They're not going to win every single period, but put up a fight. Like, why am I watching this team get dominated for a full 20 minutes at points? They never play a full 60. They play 40 and tonight 25. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, late March and early April is when we're really going to learn everything we need to know. That's when we're going to learn and we're going to see if the smell that's going around or that I at least think is going around is if it's actually a bad smell or if it's a good smell. Yeah, Meek has been terrible. Uh, I wouldn't say that normally the third period is when they suck. There's there's other times, like Toronto, it was really more so the second they were ugly. Anaheim, they were not good in the second. It's just goaltending kind of messed the issues there. I'm trying to think of before that. Oh, Toronto though, that the Toronto game before that, the third period, yeah. But yeah, like it's just infuriating. It's truly, truly infuriating. But I don't know. I don't really know if I have much else to add with this post game show. So, should I buy a Panarin jersey or Igor jersey? And should I get home or away looking at it for Xmas? I would go with mm, I'd go. Hmm. I'd go Igor. I'd go Igor Road because Road's at least a little different. But I'm gonna wrap things up here because I don't really know if I have much else to add with this tonight. And yeah, they're back at it again tomorrow. Hopefully, we get a way better effort. Way better effort. But that's going to be it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.